if he wanted my horrible jokes to be present again.
We at least show that we can.
I just realized I don't think I updated the title.
My filter's still working.
Oh, what I did.
From that, because we can already do that.
Yeah, your filter is still working.
Okay. And that wasn't on Twitch, was it? So that's embarrassing.
There's no game there.
What's going on here?
Yeah, you'll notice with his boss, when he disappears behind the waterfall, he doesn't disappear.
No solution for SSL. Yeah, so if I just go portal, UDS, QA, Horizon.
I actually didn't notice, so I was looking away.
Okay.
Sign in.
Let me just add one thing here. Please.
Shows the HoloLens link. Click it. Go.
Oh. Oh, he can't disappear at all.
So, I mean.
There we go.
That's all we have. Without SSL, this is the best.
Alright.
Oh, that capsule.
Are pretty much ready.
That's it. That's the Sonic 3 part done.
That game, man. That game.
The final score, 14,000 points.
Yep.
Oh.
And
Also, why are Sonic and Knuckles and Sonic 3 different games?
Oh, yeah,
and then you've got
Zira.
Mushroom Hill, yeah.
Yeah?
You're gonna actually want to tune in now, because remember how you loved naming everything in the remake?
Oh, Lord.
Well, since we're playing the original, we can actually...
There's a link on
We can actually name the protagonists.
So you're gonna get me on I don't know if I should do that, because you're gonna be stuck with whatever awful names I think forever.
Oh, please. Oh, I'll choose the protagonist's name already. We'll go with, where's the J? Yeah, I'll name the protagonist, but then you have free reign over the other names.
Oh, I don't know if I want to do that.
Come on.
I don't know, I don't want to embarrass you in front of your viewers.
Oh, pfft. I won't be embarrassed. Alright, so Beastman Brawler. What to name him?
Kevin.
Flash, what'd you say?
What'd you say?
Yeah, his actual,
Kevin, I think?
his actual name.
Yeah, well, Kevin is pretty basic, and also his actual name, so... What name do we want to come up
What's
with
a good
here?
name?
That isn't Kevin.
I don't know. What's a really... What's something that'd be a funny name? Well, quote-unquote funny. Well, he is a... I don't know if I should make a political joke. So I was gonna say, he's a grappler and a beast man.
Yeah, I think I know where you're going with that, and let's probably avoid anything related to, the name of a Disney duck.
Or his opponent, either, honestly. Yeah.
Wow, I didn't think you'd have this much difficulty.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of something that's like funny enough, like not like big, extreme, stupid, like in the other screen.
Sufficient context for introducing the topic.
Sodium citrate is used in the production of nacho cheese and has a chemical formula.
You know what? Screw it. In honor of our favorite house, let's just make this meme not die. Name him Lenny.
Okay, dog barked while you were saying that, so what'd you say?
I guess in honor of our favorite house that will not be missed, will be missed, and will not be forgotten. We should name him Lenny.
Lenny. Alright. Yes, okay. I recall that, yeah.
Yeah, we'll just never let that stupid joke die. It's already gone on way too long.
Alright, and now we have a thief whose original name is Hawkeye.
Hmm.
Thoughts?
See, he's a thief. Screw it, Han Solo.
And now I see where my profile picture comes from.
Oh my gosh, that... Okay, we're going with that. As soon as I figure out where the space is.
It's probably one of the like spaces. I mean, I guess that'd be obvious, but...
Yeah,
try by like the degree symbol if he's something. Under the question marks. Is it not there? Wait. No, that wasn't it. Where is the space? Maybe by the use? No?
I tried that, and screw it, we'll just put,
Yeah, I guess a
we'll
dash.
just put that. That's odd, I really thought that there would be a...
There probably
space
is, and we're
option,
just
but,
not seeing it.
Han Solo. The Adventures of Joka, Lenny, and Han Solo.
Why not?
Beautiful, beautiful, absolutely, I love it. Beautiful. But yeah, and reminder, I'm streaming on twitch.tv/Zwataketa.
I'm gonna go read the terms of service real quick to make sure I don't make any jokes that violate that. Where do I find those? Terms, there you are. I don't want to get you in trouble.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Wait, so you're gonna be recording it like us while you stream?
Yeah,
Yep.
we're apparently in the stream.
Okay, well.
Silence. But yeah, already, aside from the fact that we're playing as a different character at point in this game compared to the remake playthrough, we can see quite a huge shift in style compared to the remake, to put it bluntly.
Well, I just skimmed over it, so it doesn't look like there'll be anything I'd accidentally do, so I think we're good. As long as we don't get in a copyright discussion.
So
It's in the rules are in the description.
Yeah, I meant like Twitch terms of service. I definitely know I'm not going to violate any of your rules. Because they're like being a basic, decent human being.
all return
Yep.
a 500 error.
I guess we'll get to see the original battle system.
Yeah, and not only that, but over the course of this entire playthrough, we're actually going to be... like I said before, there's 3 main villain factions, and for Duran, it was the Dragon Lord, but in this case, since I chose Joka, or no, not Joka, that's not her name, Charlotte, that means instead I'm going to be going for the Dark Lich path.
The multiple swagger URLs that we have.
Which means it'll change a few of the dungeons and boss fights. Including the
But
final
we'll
boss.
change Fate Lenny.
Nope. Lenny's fate is unfortunately sealed.
Okay.
Well, so you know which Lenny. The
Yeah,
specific Lenny
The
that we're
house
referring
Lenny.
to.
The one that is the far too long run joke that I did not expect to show on.
Mhm.
Oh, sorry. Gotta go get this.
And so Heath is going to fight, is aiming to fight this evil guy alone, and Joka doesn't want that to happen, so she's gonna help. I mean, she's gonna help. Gotta get in character. So we're gonna get help from one of our friends.
I see your second party member really early then.
No, it's still pretty much
Oh.
the same pace for getting the party members as before. It's unless Charlotte is your third party member, it always goes first party member at the beginning of when the barrier is taken down to Wendell, and second party member escaping from prison.
See if I can make things more.
Hey, listen up, Tiny. I may be as small as you, but I'm 15. Just aging slower than usual. That's all. Now tell me... I will admit, it is better seeing her speech impediment in the actual, in the original game, without the voice acting. Because there you can still impart your own voice onto her, but it's still... I'm a fan of her voice, of her speech impediment, and I think that the voice actor for Charlotte, none of the voices are really good in the
I think
remake.
Hawkeye has a good voice.
Okay, let me be more specific. Many of the voices are fine, but the actual performance
It's
is,
the direction.
Yeah, the direction. Okay, where am I supposed to go here again? Maybe up here? Bing, 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 bing. Maybe I'm supposed to go downstairs? I know I already checked with, the friend.
Are we gonna have to look up a guide on Stranger?
Not yet. I know I can solve this. You're pretty herded in these intro areas that you'll eventually find your way.
And I just pasted in the chat the URL for Intel Test 1.
Here we are. Oh. Okay, not yet. And she got angry. Oh wait, I probably need to... Oh, I know what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to go to bed after this. But we may as well talk to Grandpa.
They're both
We're
valid.
not supposed to see all the dialogue.
Because
What we want to use is Intel Test 1.
and we can save the game. Just gotta love the sass in these
That's why
animations
one of
in the
my
original.
confusion. Michael is saying, oh yeah, those APIs will only work if you use SAML test. Oh, okay.
I still think that it's like kind of weird that like she's 15, she like looks and acts far younger and is treated far younger.
That had already been verified as authenticating with AD.
Eh.
But
We had to have our residents. We had to have our resident sprite-ish character after Secret of Mana. She is arguably my favorite of the
I haven't had enough time to form an opinion just yet. So.
Here. You might be more tolerable of her here than you would be if you were learning about her in the remake because of the lack of a voice. We'll just say that.
Well, why would I judge her for her voice?
Well, on top of the fact that all the voices in the remake are kinda, well, the voice directions are kinda imagine her speech
Okay. Should SSO guys work
voiced.
against both of them?
with a little cutesy little I can't even do it right now.
Like, here's the thing, Zwat. Rhoticism is one thing, but there's also landicism, which makes it impossible to pronounce L's as well. And there are people who have both.
Yeah, oh no, I'm not trying to insult, I'm trying to say it from the perspective of other people. Things I've heard. I mean, I went through a period when I was very young when I couldn't pronounce L's or W's. Imagine if I was still like that. You'd be hearing just Sonic Coex wings. That's what I would say, I guess. Because I couldn't do L's or R's, which was hard, which was difficult, because I had an L in my own name. Grr. What? A little girl? Uh-oh. Now what? This is Mick's fault. He's toast when I get back. I'll go. You stay. It's night. So sleep. And she sleeps.
Oh, by the way, I found a video of Sonic Jam for the Gamecom running on MAME. So you can see just how bad the emulation is. It's not so much the visuals, it's more the audio.
Oh dear.
Oh no.
Ugh.
It needs to be like
Anyway,
a
we're back in Astoria.
game.com marathon race where the runner just plays all of the games available for the Gamecom. Because I don't think there would have been
Oh
many.
no.
I forget how many there were. There weren't many. Hang on, I'll see if I can
I'm
find
sure it's like
them.
early double digits.
I think there were about 20.
Oh, Zira, pay your
Alright.
respects.
Oh no, it's funny. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
We're still gonna keep that joke going. Like, we can stop anytime, or we can just keep burning it into the ground. Like Glennie will unfortunately soon be.
Let me just take a look at the full list.
I don't know if that would be helpful, actually. I get it, sample test is more...
The number of games released for the Gamecom was 20.
And
Absolutely 20, just like I remember hearing from Riesz.
Yes, Dad.
And there wasn't just Sonic Jam, there was also Duke Nukem 3D on there.
Oh.
I'm sorry, what?
Oh, that sounds awful.
There was
And
Duke
Fire's
Nukem
Mega
game
Mix.
and Mortal Kombat Trilogy. And Resident Evil 2.
Understand that. Okay.
Ah.
So,
I don't know how I
Either
feel
case.
about such a thing.
That is just...
the SSO APIs, without region code, SSO APIs don't work for the sample
Going for
test
something
user.
that,
For non-region,
that advanced
I'm sorry, for NAA1,
on a system like the Gamecom. That's just setting up your handheld to fail.
We still can't do an SSO. Is that a fair
Yeah.
statement?
All the games were developed internally by Tiger.
Yep.
And the weird thing is there were some developers, some third-party developers who said to Tiger, hey, we want to make games for that system, and Tiger said no.
What?
Tiger actually turned them down.
Tiger actually turned who down?
Why?
There were some third-party developers who wanted to develop for the Gamecom, and Tiger told them no.
I mean, I would have been willing to develop for it. Why would they tell them no?
Overconfidence?
Maybe, but like, if you're a game console developer, why would you turn someone down if they want to make a game for your
Need
console?
I repeat that these are the same guys who thought insulting people's intelligence in, like, game system advertising was a good idea.
Wait, what now?
This
I
system
don't
has
recall
more
that.
games than you idiots have brain cells!
Oh, that's a quote for the commercial. That sounds. I thought it was like an AVGN
Yeah, it's
quote or
something like that. It's something like that.
Oh,
Oh.
implying that I have less than 20 brain cells is, yeah, no. That's
It wouldn't
completely
sound me.
incorrect.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, as I was saying earlier, the specs for the handheld were terrible, even when compared to the Game Boy. Everything was handled on the CPU. There was no graphics chip, there was no sound chip. It was all done on a Sharp SM8521 8-bit CPU.
To that, I have one thing to say.
CPU compared to the Game Boys.
Oof.
In terms of audio, it had 4 channels, 2 4-bit waveform generators, with their own frequency and volume control, but sharing the same waveform data. So you weren't exactly going to get a wide variety of sounds from it. Then a noise generator, and oddly a PCM output channel. Like you're going to have the power to get PCM out of that thing. Especially when the CPU was doing literally everything.
Yeah. I'm gonna mute myself for a bit because my food will probably be here soon.
Yeah. I mean, the games literally
Yeah,
run
the
about
doorbell
as well as
interrupted.
on one of those kiddie laptops you see all the time in the toy section in a store.
There
Oh,
is
God.
there is
Wait,
two
is
things.
weaker than one
Though.
of those?
I had one of those. My sister had one of
Huh?
those.
Do I smell pizza?
Look what I posted in trash can,
Oh.
by the way.
Alright, well, with the intro done, that sounds like a good time to call a break real fast so I can have dinner.
Alrighty.
Back in a bit.
Yeah, there
Alright,
were
enjoy. I'm waiting for dinner myself.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking at the tech specs for the Gamecom. It actually has a higher resolution screen than the Game Boy. Because the Game Boy is 160 by 144, same as the Game Gear. And the Gamecom is 200 by 160.
Huh.
By the way, Red, look what I posted in trash can. Well, that goes for all of you, really.
My.
It's canceled. She actually said that.
That Lights Out is a standalone cartridge in exactly the same way that on an at-games Sega Genesis, you're likely to find a standalone title in Mr. Balls. The exact same game, it just looks and sounds way worse. And I'm not just saying that because it's on the at-games Genesis. No, it just looks fugly. Entirely fugly. I technically own 2 versions of Lights Out, both of them bootlegs. The other is on a Tetris handheld of some sort. Okay, now how about something good? I'm taking quite a bit of a liking to this track from the Sonic Remix, or Sonic CD Remix album. All y'all here in the Discord VC, feel free to check that out. Dollar Remix of Cosmic Eternity. And I've been playing it on loop for the past, well, across today and yesterday. Welcome back, IAG.
Hey. Is the stream live or not yet?
We're at an intermission.
Yeah.
guess I'll get back to like Genesis GBA while we're still in this intermission. Because I hate myself, apparently. But then again, at least the run's off to about as decent a start as if I were playing a real thing. I guess that's something. I don't know. I'll have it up for a bit. God damn it, it saves by the zone. Only now do I figure this out. Great, I think I know what this means. Yep. There go my Chaos Emeralds. Joy. On the other hand, these crap physics can actually help a bit sometimes. You know, ironically, the music is actually sped up properly in this port. Something the advanced games never got right.
Man, look at that fucking screen crunch, though. I mean, it's like ridiculous.
Yeah.
Good luck with like if you ever play like the GBA version of Mega Man and Bass. I wish you good luck for that.
Oh, yeah. I actually have played a bit of Mega Man based on the GBA. I have the ROM. In all fairness, though, that was way more competent. Screen crunch be damned. But this... My rhythm is just completely messed up. I can't jump nearly as much as I usually can. Because this port has such great controls. Wait, am I going to... Nope!
Audio sources, video sources. Boop.
I wouldn't mind so much
We back.
if I could just jump properly in those special stages.
We back.
Yes, hello, Zwat. I am back too.
Alright. So as everyone will notice, with Joka, we never even visit Jad during the intro sequence. Instead, she starts off writing the story. So we can just check right off with
God, this slowdown.
this guy about the light. And I believe that's all we need to do to trigger this next sequence.
I decided to return to my game while we were on break. In retrospect,
So yeah,
probably shouldn't have.
oof.
But here we are.
Poor Joka is so sad about Heath. And it's, Fire Day. Great. And apparently there was one other NPC I needed to check with. Great. Let's go do that. Yes, that was very important. Okay, I think that was the other one.
Animation time.
Alright, now we should be able to trigger it. There we go. Yeah, you have to talk to the right NPCs and then stay at the inn. I imagine that might have tripped up some people. But in the remake you have those star markers so that you know who to talk to and where to go, so it's easier to figure out in the remake, since you're basically headed in the right direction. While here, there's nothing telling you what NPCs to talk to. So there are plenty of places where you could potentially get stuck, but nothing where you could make an irreparable mistake or anything like that. Just a few potentially guide-dang-it moments.
Okay, is it just me, or did Sega actually dick around a bit with the spinning sprites in this port?
It's flashing! I love that. It's flashing.
Okay, but seriously, I'm pretty sure the spinning sprites didn't just have some random, differently shaded pixels in the original game. That includes the spin dash added in, or that includes the spin dash as it was added in the 3DS or in the M2 port. This makes about as much sense as the helmet shading from Mega Man in that Game Gear entry.
And sometimes in this engine, it can take enemies a moment to die. Like, the death command can be, the death step can be there, but they move around a bit and then boom. But typically if you know, or if you're used to the game and you know what to look for, you can tell if an enemy is dead. Typically it's if that happens, most of the time, the hit stun effect will last for a bit.
These moving blocks just appeared out of thin air. I can't even make it up.
And so you'll be able to tell. And actually, I just realized something. The team that I ended up with for the original here is actually the same team that I used on my first emulator run that reached the Benevolence.
Nice.
So no doubt I'll be able to beat the game with this team. And I don't know what the point of Spring Steppers is in this game because they all do this and they don't lead anywhere to my knowledge.
Nice. Even graphically, Sonic messed this up.
If there is a purpose to Spring Steppers in the original, I don't know what it is. Seems like they only put them in there to have a callback to Secret of Mana. At least in the remake they're used in some platforming. And our first treasure chest is a trap.
You just stop when I want you to stop, Sonic.
But it's okay. Cool, we're safe. Totally not suspicious. Demon statue.
Perfectly normal. Oh, I can't even do the same spin dash trick on these blocks as I can with the other handheld versions. Spin dash.
Hang in there.
Also, hello again, Zero.
No, Lenny. And now the fairy is inside of us.
Yeah, I'm gonna BRB real quick.
I believe the term is atrocity, minor.
Either way, I don't care. It's inexcusable.
Atrociousness.
Specifically, are you
Also,
because I wasn't
spell check
watching
didn't-
Sonic 1 stream when it happened.
Also, spell check didn't call me out on it. Literally, many a spinning sprite just has some random pixels differently shaded than the rest. Something which never happens in the original version of the game or any other port.
Did they like try to add dithering or something?
It's not even dithering. Don't even give it the benefit of being called dithering. It makes about as much sense as shading Mega Man's helmet the way Freestyle did in that Mega Man Game Gear game.
I might be thinking the wrong game, but
Double
what I
hit.
remember of Mega Man King Gear, it actually looked graphically pretty alright.
Yeah, for the most part it really does, but Mega Man's helmet kinda doesn't make sense somehow. Still, I'd take that any day over.
Oh, I see it.
Oh,
And I think that is,
Zira.
for some reason, supposed to be dithering.
It sure doesn't look like it.
It doesn't look quite random.
Sure does to me.
Oh, I just realized. There was a stock line that's used for when you're playing as any character that the protagonist was supposed to say, and so that just means that Charlotte here just said a line with an R in it.
She overcame her speech impediment. Huzzah!
for one single line, yay! But yeah, poor Lenny. Rippin' pepperonis. You will be missed. And now let us meet Lenny.
I'm guessing in the original Japanese, whatever they did for a speech impediment wasn't present in the original line, and so they didn't think to make a different one.
Yeah, I guess. But obviously, because they had to do voice lines, they would have caught that in the remake. Either that or Fairy said the line, but based on how the text looked, it seemed like the protagonist was supposed
Also,
to say
can we
it.
just take a moment to not appreciate how, while saving works by the zone, it doesn't even save the Chaos Emeralds you've collected.
It doesn't save the what?
Oof.
The game saves by the zone, but unlike Sonic 3 and Knuckles, it won't save any emeralds you've collected already.
So, it's completely pointless and you have to play in one sitting anyway if you want the good ending?
I pretty much have to clear a whole zone to save my emeralds.
Oh! I thought they didn't say emeralds.
Okay, that's still better than what Zero was suggesting. But yeah, Lenny here, the Beast Man, ended up turning werewolf, turning beastly, and hurt his doggo
I
friend.
used to have 2 before Green Hill ended.
Who attacked him, and so he's not happy.
Well, I'm just reading up a bit about this game, and I don't know who would say that this was meant to be using the Sonic Advance engine, because it isn't.
Yeah, I call bullshit on that.
It's not. It's not using the Advance engine. It's not even using a port of the original game's engine.
Not by a long shot.
It's
created
using
specifically for this.
And it sucks.
It's using the engine called It's a Hodgepodge.
Yeah.
The thing that gets me is, like, it would have made so much sense for them to use the advanced engine because, like, it's already pretty close to classic Sonic's gameplay.
It is! Why? Why would you not use it?
So patient.
Sega are still
Maybe they lost the code
completely-
for it or something, I don't know.
It wouldn't have been so hard to just copy-paste the engine in here if they were going to be so lazy with the port to begin with.
I mean, they might have, like, literally lost
no,
the code. It is
actually.
Sonic you're talking about.
Well, no, but no, you would have had to do considerable work for the engine anyway, because the original engine was written for Motorola 68000, but the CPU in a Game Boy Advance is, I believe I'm right in saying, it's an ARM chip.
Yeah, I was talking about the advanced engine.
Well, the Advance engine was designed with very different goals in mind.
Okay.
So
Fair
if you
enough.
try and put Sonic 1 into the Advance engine, it wouldn't work very well.
I still think I would have preferred it over this. Whatever this
Yeah, it
is.
would have definitely worked better than this, but it was probably not saying much.
I can't even control myself properly in these special stages anymore.
Yeah, as I thought.
If it makes me feel better, I never could.
As I thought,
supposed
the
to-
Game Boy
it's
Advance
supposed to be
has
more
an
freely
ARM
jump.
CPU.
Damn it! Damn it! Damn it!
You got the goal! I don't know why they have those labeled goal, it makes no sense.
Actually, the Game Boy Advance has 2 CPUs, because it has an ARM 7 for Game Boy Advance games, and then it also has another processor in it specifically for the Game Boy and Game Boy Color backwards compatibility.
Alright, so we'll heal up Joker here because 8 hit points is not very survivable.
I'm kind of curious, is it possible for any like Game Boy Advance games to use the other processor for a Game Boy Advance game? Because I know that some Game Boy Color games did receive enhancements specifically for when they were playing on a Game Boy Advance. I'm curious if the opposite is possible.
Shantae, wait, you mean like a Game Boy Advance game playing on a Game Boy Color? Because
No,
that's
I mean
impossible.
a Game Boy Advance game playing on a Game Boy Advance is using the Game Boy Color chip as well. Or like some other processor or something.
I don't know if that's possible, because I know with the Genesis is you could play Master System games directly on it because it does have a Z80 CPU as the sound coprocessor.
Though
But
it's
you
best
could
done with a
only,
converter.
yeah, you needed the Mega Base Converter or whatever exactly. It's called.
Otherwise, you're probably
Because-
going to buy some hardware. Right?
Well, I was about to say, because what that converter did was it connected the right pins together in the cartridge slot in the Genesis, to switch the Genesis into Master System mode and give control of the system over to the Z80.
Ah, I see. Sorry to interrupt.
I don't know
Wait.
how the Game Boy Advance did it, because you didn't need an adapter for the Game Boy games; it just worked. So maybe I don't know, because I don't know what the pinouts would have been or anything either. So
I don't know.
Wait, you're saying that a Genesis can play Master System games?
but
Yes.
you need
So-
the power base converter. That's what it's called. You need that because,
Okay.
well, first of all, you need to convert the cartridge slot because Master System cartridges won't go in a Genesis cartridge slot. But it wasn't just that, it was also the fact that I think some pins had to be connected in the cartridge slot to tell the Genesis, by the way, you're about to play a Master System game. But the Genesis
that
includes
makes
all of the
sense.
Master System hardware. It's got a Z80 CPU as the Samco processor to take load off the 68000's central CPU. The VDP chip has all the same modes from the Master System, along with a couple of extras for the Genesis. And one of the two Genesis sound chips, the PSG chip, is exactly the same as the one that was in the Master System.
Of
Gotcha.
course, the power base converter doesn't come with a YM2413, so you don't get FM.
No, but that chip was only ever put in the Japanese Master System anyway,
Yes. Sadly.
and not many games used it as a result. And those that did tended to be Japan exclusives.
Which would you say is the better way to play Master System? Like on an actual Master System or on a Genesis?
You won't actually see a difference because, like I said, the Genesis includes all of the Master System hardware, and when switched into Master System mode, it behaves exactly like a Master System would. And you can even use Master System controllers.
Ooh,
nice.
So there is no difference.
So it's like flawless, like the Game Boy Advance.
Yeah, it's flawless because it's not emulated. It's genuine hardware.
Mhm.
Out of random curiosity, well, they probably wouldn't, because like there wouldn't be much need for it. I was curious, like if they did like any other enhancements, like say the Game Boy Advance is like speaker palette mode and such for Game Boy games.
Actually, there is one game a Game Boy Color game that can detect if it's on a Game Boy Advance. Shantae.
Yeah, that's what I was
that I
referring
know
to.
of.
I knew there was at least one.
Yeah,
But I was wondering
you
if
won't.
anyone could be opposite.
You won't get that with a Master System game running on a Genesis because, as far as the game is concerned, it's running on a Master System.
Fair enough.
That's why I say I don't know exactly how it was handled in the Game Boy Advance, but it was clearly a bit more than just connect a couple of pins through an adapter. Because if a Game Boy Color game can detect it's running on a Game Boy Advance, there's obviously something else in there.
I'm sorry, son of God. I didn't. Yeah, I wasn't. You're right. I wasn't paying attention to chat. But yeah, long time no see. And yes, I said Shantae. I'm finally out of school, so I've taken up streaming again. I'm doing Trials of Mana remake on Tuesdays and original on, well, today's, like Thursdays of the weeks.
While a friend of his tortures himself
And-
with a very bad Sonic 1 port on the side.
Yes, you know the one.
Meanwhile,
Yeah, I've
the
learned a
crazy
lot
lady
this
watches
past.
though.
Yeah, I've learned a lot about programming over the past semester, and I'm still learning through some videos online. And Red, you might be interested to hear about this. I'm starting to work with delegates and events.
Good.
Like I'm trying to formulate a like a cutscene engine for an RPG, like to have specific characters move, lighting effects, and obviously pulling up dialogue boxes, all in sequence. And that's what I'm trying to set up right now.
Yeah, the stuff I'm working on doesn't actually use delegates and events, but then I'm working on web stuff, which operates a bit differently anyway.
Yeah, I believe next fall I'll be taking an HTML class that is required for my major.
HTML's easy enough.
HTML will be fun. JavaScript will not.
JavaScript, it depends. JavaScript in the 90s was a hot mess. It really was. But modern JavaScript, especially with modern browsers and their support for newer standards and newer features, it's a lot easier to develop in than it used to be.
I mean, it's better than it used to be, but like, there's still no true object-oriented programming, and the paradigm just like something about it just doesn't click well with the way that I think about programming, I guess.
There is.
And I was actually
there is proper classes. They were added.
Yeah, but it's not proper inheritance.
It wasn't that long ago, but there are proper classes. There is inheritance going on.
Yeah, but
it was added. It was added as part of the ECMA script 2015 standard, and by now all major browsers should support it in full.
Because I know when I was using it,
but yeah,
there wasn't like true inheritance. Like they said there was inheritance, but it was like really weird and hacky and didn't really work consistently. So that's what turned me off of JavaScript.
Yeah, but like I said, with the new class syntax, I say new, it was added in 2015, but with the new syntaxes, you do get a more. You can do the inheritance in a way that's much closer to what you see in the likes of C# and that. Before that, it was all based on object prototypes, which is a bit tricky to get your head around.
Ooh, that might. Then they did fix it then, because I was talking about like that weird object prototype system.
Yeah, that's the old way of doing things, but the new way of doing things is you can define actual classes.
Like actual Java or C++ or C# style classes, or
that's right. I'm just gonna. Yeah, I'm just having a quick look through the MDN page. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe later I'll decide I hate myself enough to try JavaScript again.
Yeah. Just have a quick look through that. You'll see the sort of class definitions that you typically see in stuff like Java and C#, and there's even proper inheritance in the way that you'd expect. Class X extends Y. That's the syntax, which I believe is what Java does. Class X extends Y.
All right. Can I talk now?
Yeah, sorry to blood whip coding talk.
Okay. So as I was trying to say, however long ago, when I was about to ask Sun how you've been doing since I last saw you. I was about to ask how the AOCF games are going, and then just noticed the comment about someone's making a patch to fix. That's exciting.
Oh, nice. That is not the same plot trajectory.
I'm interested to see what that entails. Like, is it just going to be a patch to fix the netcode, or is it also going to come with some bundled with some balances for the characters, or whatever? Either way, it's cool. I kind of figured. Increase the buffer the delay can do. Okay, in my mind that says there's gonna be more delay, but that probably is not entirely how it works. Which enables you to watch anyone without black screen. Okay. Yeah, I don't really do much with online programming wise at the moment, so I only understand so much of how it works. But yeah, that's exciting. I recall a lot of shakiness on the game's net play in the past. Yeah, I'm well and familiar with when the game had black screen issues. Now, where's that gold statue?
No.
Here.
No.
Perhaps.
Okay, no.
It won't make the ping any better, but it will allow for more smoothness. That's good. If only we could get something like that for Smash Ultimate. Am I right? I guess that's one of the benefits of it being a Toho game compared to, say, a Nintendo game, since Zun is very open to fan-made stuff. Like, Zun and Nintendo are basically on polar opposites of that whole spiel. Like, I've been tempted to try and make a Toho game myself at some point. Like, not just to make a Toho game and get something out there to sell, but actually something genuine, and it'd be a bonus if I would be allowed to sell it. Just because I know that Zun is very open to that.
Yeah, because
I don't know, it's like... Yeah, if I did go that route, I would definitely want to still respect the source material and not just cobble something together like that one Baldi's Basics mod that they call Pachuli's Library or whatever. Seriously, that was completely shameless.
Yeah, because I was about to say, like, wasn't there that one, like, Nintendo Switch game? It was, like, some Toho fan fighting game that ended up somehow getting sold.
Oh, there's been plenty of Toho fan games that have been sold, but I'm thinking of one specific one that I saw on Steam that was, like, it was just Baldi's Basics. Which console? Well, I'm not playing it on an emulator. I'm playing the Superboy SFC. Can't really put it in, view, but yeah.
You got a big boy Super
I got
Nintendo.
both this. I got both the physical version of Trials of Mana SNES, the official translation. I'm very lucky, and the Switch version on my birthday. Ooh, those look nice. I should really consider getting custom emotes for my Twitch channel. I think at some point. I'm not sure if I want to make them stylized for myself, for stylized after Zwat, or oh, it's nighttime, so now I'm a werewolf. Or if I'd want to make them just based off of my favorite games. Unsure at the moment.
And before that awful Lionhouse joke ends up becoming an emoji at some point.
Son of G4. I wonder what the 4 is. Oh, that's exciting. Very exciting. Skullgirls and them's fighting herds. Getting that representation in. Yeah. Like, as much as I like Smash, and it is kind of unfortunate that it got out, I don't only play Smash, so I gotta be excited for the other games. That's how I work.
On
Yeah.
one hand, it feels
Agreed.
sucky to have a fighting game thing without Smash. You're like, I'm completely out of range of this stuff. Like, on the other hand, melee community's kind of really tough.
Yeah, Smash is just one game. Smash is just one game. And Skullgirls, Under Night in Birth, I'm one of the people who, even though I don't go to EVO, obviously, I got excited upon hearing the prospect that Under Night in Birth got in, because when the guy mentioned it that year that they worked hard to get their game into EVO, he wasn't kidding. It's a huge respect that Under Night in Birth was able to get in. I can't word very good right now, but yeah, basically.
Oh, that's why it was not that, because of netcode? I mean, that would make sense because of the whole, pandemic.
Yeah, it wasn't the same reason as Melee.
Okay, I thought that we were talking about Melee.
Okay, anyone in
Remember,
our Discord voice chat right now? I have a rant in the text channel that really needs to be addressed.
Charge spin, stopping your movement on a moving platform. So
no.
Oh no. Yeah, moving platforms that don't move you along with the platform.
Yeah.
I will never
Yeah,
understand.
look, I'm standing still right
even-
now, and it's fine. But look what happens when I charge up a spin dash.
Even
That's
like,
such a new mistake,
even in the
honestly.
even in the worst, even in, like, I remember in Sonic 06, only one platform out of all the moving platforms in the game would move without moving you with it in Team Attack Amigo Blaze's aquatic, whatever that stage was called. All the other moving platforms in the game move you with them, but there was one that moves under your feet. And I don't understand how you make that mistake, especially given those circumstances.
It's harder
What?
to code. It's just
I'm
kind of
loading
like
up
one
a
mistake.
good
They probably just
game on
forgot
the Game
to
Boy
do it for that
Advance.
platform.
Oh my god. How did this get released?
But yeah, it's like, even in the worst scenarios, moving platform that doesn't move the character with it, that just tells me they don't test that.
Or they don't
Yeah.
know how to
So,
fix it. That's more for just new developers and not like people that are getting paid and know what they're doing.
yeah, I mean, I can theorize, but I don't quite, I've never really implemented a moving platform myself, but I'm sure I could figure
I
it out,
have, and
honestly.
it's not that much harder to move the character along with the platform. It's just, by default, chances are the way you program the platform usually is just going to move the platform. But it's just as simple as applying the platform's motion to the player. It's not hard. It's like a few lines at most every time I've had to do it. So it's mostly just, I guess they just didn't figure out that they do that, or it's people that don't care.
Well, I quit. I'm playing Sonic Advance instead.
Ooh, you're gonna play any Tiny
But
Children?
yeah, DBFZ, yeah, Son, based on what you're saying, I've heard DBFZ got out, and obviously Smash, and Street Fighter 5. And were there any others that got kicked out because of their netcode?
Or at least
Look at me
get a start
stammering.
on Sonic Advance and what little time there is before dinner.
Ooh, what emulator are you playing on, and does it have Netflix?
MGBA.
Oh! We could probably just, do random multiplayer that works. I'll
Well,
have to look up.
maybe. I get the feeling it's probably another port forward thing.
Maybe.
'Cause,
I don't know if
this
there
is
is
not-
online netplay working for any Visual Boy Advance
It
emulators.
is like
Or Game Boy
the
Advance
stock
emulators.
application and not RetroArch, so I know I can't really use a mirror server.
Yeah.
Like, you could do Parsec or something like that, but other than that, I don't know.
I'll look through the settings, I guess.
Remind me to open up treasure chests in the original with only Joka and not Kevin. And not, Lenny. So I can make use of, Joka's luck value to avoid traps.
There, a charge spin I can actually use correctly. You can press the jump button multiple times and it'll charge it up further.
Alright, bosses behind this door. Here we go. Joka could use a heal. And I think I've got plenty. Why do I have 2 magic ropes? Okay.
And I think it might only be local multiplayer. That sucks.
Oh well.
Alright, Full Metal. We've got Full Metal Hugger to deal with now, and compared to the remake, yeah, this will be more traditional for those familiar with Secret of Mana. Their spell attacks are unavoidable and stop the action when they happen. Unlike in the remake, where in most cases they're actually avoidable, which is a change I appreciate, but at least in this game it feels more balanced and fair in the beginning than it does in Secret of Mana. Seriously, what were they thinking when they designed the Mantis Ant? I'll never understand who designed the Mantis Ant.
Honestly,
Out of
I
curiosity.
just think it's really cool that like there's real-time bosses, like in a SNES RPG. Because hot take and unpopular opinion, I hate the active time battle system that like Final Fantasy has. It's so much better.
What about Chrono Trigger?
I've never actually played Chrono Trigger.
I'd say Chrono Trigger is worthwhile.
Yeah, I know. I really want to play that kind of haven't yet.
Alright, now to play where's that damn special stage spring?
Alright. Twinkle Rain and...
Well, you could always find the map.
Alright,
I don't
let's
really
take the
know.
Son of God.
Alright. Have fun, Son of God.
Yeah, have fun. I'm not reaching the special stage.
Alright. Let's heal Joka. Thanks for stopping by, son.
It must be a high road sort of thing. Nah, in the first act.
Oh, one of the eyes is down. That means we're around halfway, and it's performing Healing Light now. And after this, after I think Joka's next level up, I should have Healing Light available as well. Which means after this boss battle, if things go well. And the boss battle's done!
Nice.
I noticed that the eyes still come out.
Yep.
That's fortunate.
If this game was programmed today, the way it was in the SNES days, like to be, if this version of the game was programmed today, I would imagine there would be a ton of coroutines running.
A bunch of what running?
I can imagine how a lot of coroutines could be, like if this game was programmed in C#. I'm not saying it is, because you know this was before, I believe before C. But if it was programmed in C#, I imagine there would be a lot of coroutines.
Alright.
At least that's how I figured doing
Alright,
some
I'm
of the
gonna beat
stuff.
this boss and then I'll be
Yeah,
heading
it's
off.
always interesting to think about how you do something in another program.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna BRB with it.
Being able to wail on the bosses again. It's so cathartic! This is what a
okay,
GBA Sonic game
fine.
should feel like.
Alright, now I have Healing Light, which means I am pretty safe from needing to stay fully stocked up on healing items in most cases, thankfully,
later.
since I have Charlotte. And pretty soon it'll be the same case for
Back later.
Okay, back. See you later, Miner. It'll be this pretty soon. It'll be the same case for what's the word I'm looking for? Help me out here, guys. Pretty soon it'll be the same case for medical herbs, because Charlotte has another spell that I'll get later on called Twinkle Rain, which will serve the purpose of medical herbs.
Alright, I'm back.
Alright. And we're almost to the point that we were that we stopped things last night in the remake. Now we just go through a few cutscenes and then we'll be exactly at the point we stopped in the remake on Tuesday. Because we've basically made the same amount of progression. And I think I want to keep the progression pretty much parallel between the two versions for both streams, so that I don't get hung up on either version.
Oh, so you're gonna...
Or make
You're
a
gonna try to keep them
progress.
even?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Also back again.
Yeah, so I think I'll go reach and acquire the power from one mana stone per week in both versions. And then once we're done with the mana stone stuff, then I'll do the 1 or 2 Benevodons. And I since I've played this game, I already have an idea of what checkpoints to set for myself, so I can beat both versions of Trials of Mana within reasonable time and stay engaged over the course of the weeks. Rather than just like making 1% progress and then not doing much else for the session. I'd say that's a good pace. Cause yeah, it's like we have 8 mana stones to collect, 8 Benevodons to beat, and a couple other checkpoints throughout the course of this game that are pretty easy to face. And heck, Benevodons can be split into two per session, I'm pretty sure. Perhaps even more, but yeah. But yeah, Trials of Mana is very fortunate in being that the remake does not illegitimize any reason to still play the original, because they're so wildly different, but both are still very, very good. Like, there's a reason why Square Enix not only gave us the remake, but also translated in I want to say 17, need to double check that, but translated the game when it didn't even come out before a few years back in the US. And now we get to see how Hawkeye escapes from the jail. Hey, did you even notice the door's unlocked? What a useless guard. It's what? You're right, but how? Oh, it's simple. Come over here and take a look. And then keep staring at that spot. Good. There, that's done. Come on, you really thought a lock like that was gonna stop a professional thief? No, I've been tricked!
Oh, that Han Solo.
Yeah, that Hawkeye. Head to the docks, yep. And we have our third party member. And now let's heal up, and we'll call that a session. I don't think I'll need any major grinding sessions throughout the course of this game, but who knows, maybe I'll decide to have some grinding streams at some point.
You can just have like
Unsure at
you
the
can just
moment.
have like grinding streams with some vaporwave music. You can just have Trials of Mana grinding
just, like-
and chip tunes to study to or whatever.
Just like to get to stream more and you know, get some progress without screwing up the schedule. Just ideas. But yeah, with that, that'll be it for this session. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we shall continue with the escape sequence in both the remake and this version of Trials of Mana next week. And on Saturday, do we want to do SRB2 card or do we want to do something else? That is the question. That'll be a discussion for off-camera. Thank you all once again, thank you all for tuning in, and we shall see you all next time. Until then, bye ya!